Welcome to Backstage with Geoffrey Morrissey. I'm your host, Geoffrey Morrissey. I am joined today by Sherri from Eisley. Sherri, thank you so much for making the time for us.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And now, welcome to Boston. Now, what did you guys do today while you were in town, if you had a spare moment?
We just ended up, of course, going to Starbucks. Honestly, I always try to find like the best coffee around, but my kids love cake pops from Starbucks, so honestly, we just found a Starbucks and went and chilled out there for a while.
Consistency is key, though.
Exactly. Yeah. The kids, it's good for the kids. You know, if you find a place that they know, it's that's good to have a little structure on tour because I do have my two kids. It's like, if you can find a common denominator in each city, like every once in a while, it helps them, kind of chill out.
Nice. Well, I was just telling you my story of how I was a little bit starstruck the first time I met you back when I was in middle school. Do you remember having one of those moments with one of your favorite bands when you met someone you were like, oh my gosh?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Jeremy Enoch from the band Sunny Day Real Estate. I'm like a big fan, and I met him outside one of his shows one time in Dallas after they played, and I had no words. I think I gave him a hug, but other than that, I just kind of like awkwardly stood there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. It's always nice when you get to meet people that you admire. So you've been singing for at least, 13 years in Eisley, about?
I have been singing for, since I was about 13.
Wow.
Since I was I started playing guitar when I was 13. I've been singing since I was, 3. So, I love it.
So you've been playing guitar and singing together since you were 13. When did you realize that this was something that you and your entire family, to be perfectly honest, that you guys were pretty good at it?
Well, thank you, first of all, for thinking that we're good at it. But I always loved singing. Whenever I was about 4 years old, I think I made a list of things that I wanted to be, and it was like mom, a singer, and like work at an ice cream shop, because I just thought ice cream was the best thing ever. So I just always loved singing. I wanted to be a singer since I was a kid, and whenever I started learning guitar when I was about 13, I think I just was kind of like, whoa, I can write my own songs. This is incredible. How fun. And I just never looked back. And so I had, my parents were very encouraging. There was like, just find what you love to do and just try to be the best you can be at it and stick with it, even if it's hard, even if you're exhausted, but if you truly love it, it'll be rewarding. And so I owe it all to my parents for being really encouraging at a young age, so.
Nice. And I know that you've done two of those three things, mother and sing in a band. Have you worked in an ice cream shop?
No, but I still eat a lot of ice cream.
What's your favorite flavor?
Mint chocolate chip, straight up, always. Yeah.
That's a very good one. So for this album, I'm Only Dreaming, you are the main lead singer. Your sisters decided to pursue other projects. Was that something that you kind of thought of, like when you first thought of this? Was that maybe the first thought in your mind, like, wow, now I have pretty much all the main vocal duties after sharing it for so long?
Yeah, I definitely was sweating it a little bit. It was just the idea of how much, not knowing if I could handle it, as a singer, I didn't know how much I could handle just doing, but it's been really cool. It's very challenging, and I've had to stretch myself as a vocalist to cover all of these parts that my sisters usually would sing, and I would swap off. But it's been fun. I like a challenge, and especially it's music, so it's so rewarding no matter what. For me,
No, totally. Now, you've said that these are the best songs that you've ever written, you think?
I think so. I am the most proud of them. I think we're always trying to push ourselves, and I'm always trying to push myself as a songwriter and a vocalist, and I think these are just the best songs that I've written. I love, so many of our songs I'm very proud of, but I think maybe because we went through so much as a band, and there was all these challenges, and were we going to lose the band, and all the stuff, and we pushed through, and it was such a rewarding experience to hear this record completed and play the songs every night, because, it's just, I love it so much.
What would you say was the toughest part of recording this record?
Toughest part, there really wasn't a very tough part, honestly. With just my bassist Garen and I, who's my cousin, helps co-write, it was such a simplified process, having less kind of cooks in the kitchen, kind of thing. So it really was very simple in the studio. Garen handles most of the instrumentation, playing it, recording it, because he's so good at it. And our producer Will Yip helped a lot with arrangements and kind of channeling us into a vision, kind of making all the songs cohesive and sound like they went on the same project. So it was really not challenging for me. Just finding the time between the kids, honestly, was the most challenging thing. Finding people to pawn them off on during the day, family and stuff. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that I sort of love about Eisley albums is there's usually like a 3 or a 4 year gap in between each record. How would you say that sort of gap of time affects each work? Because it sort of captures you at distinct moments in your life, I would say.
I don't know. I like the idea of putting out a lot of music and a lot of content, but I also think if you do that, it can kind of you can get oversaturated and oversaturate everyone with just your band. And I know fans love just constant content. I do. I'm always greedy for more content, but at the same time, I think it's good to just, if you're making a whole record, just to really take time away and focus on it and just really put your whole heart and your mind and your soul into it, and just make sure that it's just the best thing that you can do. And having that big break for us was really key, I think, to kind of figuring out the next step for us as far as our sound and all of that.
So this would be the first record. I know that Lucy was born for Currents.
Mm-hmm.
How has having kids inspired you in terms of being a writer?
Okay, I think as a parent, there's no way to not be influenced by your kids, because they're such a beautiful part of your life, if you allow them to be, and that you don't allow them to just stress you out all the time, because, having kids can be stressful. But it's so much fun. I love, they're a big part of my life, and so they definitely come into my songwriting. There's a couple songs that are straight up influenced by them, and just, my love for them, my fear for them, and them going through life, and it's fun. I try to write my songs about my kids to be vague enough to where if you're not a parent, you can still attribute the song to something else in your life. It doesn't have to, I like my songs to be broad, but definitely it influences everything I do. They're everything to me, so.
Well, that's always lovely to see.
Yeah.
So now I heard that you guys will be writing a new perma record on the road.
That hasn't happened yet. It was supposed to. As you can see, we're very, just all the downtime is kind of, there's not much downtime on this tour, because we have the VIP events we're doing on this tour where, we meet fans and do an acoustic show and with sound check, and we haven't found the time yet. But whenever we get off tour, we're definitely going to do another perma record for sure. Yeah.
And now, how do you separate sort of the many projects that you juggle? Because, how do you write a song and know this is an Eisley song, or this is something for perma, or something like that?
I don't know. It's just kind of a feeling. I know when a song is an Eisley song, and I know when a song is a perma song. It's just a little bit of a different creative twist or feel or vibe that has, and also we specifically will write specifically for certain projects. So we're already writing for the perma record right now, and it doesn't sound like Eisley. It doesn't sound like Say Anything. It just sounds like perma. So. And
what a great sound that is, Two of a Crime. It's a highly anticipated follow-up in my book.
Thank you.
You do a lot of collaboration with family members, people close to you. Would you say there's a large difference between collaborating with family members and with other people?
It's just more comfortable. I have a lot of trouble if I don't feel really comfortable with somebody, opening up and being creative, because I'm the kind of person that writes songs in the closet. I just hope no one can hear me. So I'm not the best person to collaborate with. I'm trying to stretch myself, and Max, my husband, has been really helpful because he is just very easy to collaborate with, so I've learned a lot working with him. But he is a family member, so still, I'm a big fan of his, so it is still kind of nerve-wracking sometimes.
So one of the things that we were talking about a little bit earlier off the record was your Instagram account. We just joined Instagram, plug for us, at Backstage Jeff. What are your tips now that we're on Instagram? Because you've been able to cultivate quite a large following on there.
Oh my gosh, you just have to have really cute kids. I don't know. I think for me, I'm really transparent and kind of vulnerable on my Instagram account. I try not to overshare, but I also try not to not overshare. I like people to feel like they know me and that I'm accessible and they can relate, because that's what draws people in, is if they feel like they can relate to you and learn from you or your experiences. And then they want to kind of get in on that. I know I follow people because other moms and stuff for that reason, so I think it's cool to just kind of be open and share yourself.
Definitely. Well, you guys have great albums of your own, but if you could cover one album front to back, maybe the world only knows it as an Eisley album, what album do you think that might be?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a good question. I have to say one of my favorite records from front to back is the Beatles' Abbey Road. It's like my favorite record of all time. I know that's like the album to pick, but it's such a good. I could put that record on any time, any hour, any day, and I'm just going to want to listen to the whole thing, and I love it so much. So yeah.
Well, you guys do a really great job with covers, because I remember leaving on a jet plane. I just discovered the Nutrimilk Hotel cover the other day. That was gorgeous.
Thank you.
How do you choose songs to cover, and how do you make them your own?
I don't know. I think I never really overthink it. If I want to sing, like I love Leaving on a Jet Plane. That song is beautiful. I heard actually Bjork cover it, the original, like years ago, and I somehow found that online, and I loved it so much. That's how I first learned the song. And so I always wanted to cover that one. But just if I want to sing something, it's a guilty pleasure, honestly, just picking what I want to cover. I actually covered somewhere a long time ago a Kanye West song, Heartless. And I didn't even know, it's like in the bowels of the internet somewhere.
I found it today, actually.
You did?
I wasn't able to play it. It just did like the Circle of Death loading
That's
thing.
Hilarious. It's somewhere it's out there, because I still have people finding it and telling me that they like it, but I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is.
Well, if I find it, I'll be sure to share a link. And this will be my last question. You have a show to play and other things to get to. Who has your ear right now? Who have you guys been listening to while you've been on tour?
It seems like a shameless plug, but the bands on our tour, I love so much. Backwards Dancer is one of the bands playing with us, and they're one of my new favorite bands. They actually just got signed also to our label, so it's cool. We're label buddies now. The other band we're touring with is Civilian, and they're just both just so good. I'm so honored to play with them. You don't always get to tour with bands that you love, like absolutely love and want to listen to. So this has been really just a fun tour for me, because those bands are just so great.
Awesome. Well, the new Eisley album is called I'm Only Dreaming. This interview has felt like a dream come true. So thank you very much, Sherri. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.